ASMR psychologist. Welcome to my channel. Now, today, I'm going to be reading to you from my favourite psychology self-help book, Reinventing Your Life by and Janet Klosko. Now, if you have missed the previous readings of this book, you can watch them here. They should pop up on your screen. And as I've said in previous videos, this book is a very important book. It's based on a therapy called schema-focused CBT, which helps us to deal with the factors that have made us vulnerable to developing mental health and emotional problems in adulthood. Okay, so today I'm going to help you to identify which life traps you are struggling from. And if you remember from the first video, a life trap is a pattern that developed in childhood that we carry through to adulthood. Now there are 7 life traps, and I'm going to read you a brief description of each one so that you can decide which one is yours. Because understanding our issues, understanding ourselves in this way can put us in a much stronger position to make changes if we need to. So sit back and listen and see which ones resonate with you. It's quite possible that a few may. Okay, so the first one is abandonment. The abandonment life trap is the feeling that the people you love will leave you and you will end up emotionally isolated. Whether you feel people close to you will die, leave you forever, or abandon you because they prefer someone else, somehow you feel you will be left alone. Because of this belief, you may cling to people close to you too much. Ironically, you end up pushing them away. You may get very upset or angry about even normal separations. The next one is called mistrust and abuse. The mistrust and abuse life trap is the expectation that people will hurt or abuse you in some way, that they will cheat, lie to, manipulate, humiliate, physically harm or otherwise take advantage of you. If you have this life trap, you hide behind a wall of mistrust to protect yourself. You never let people get too close. You are suspicious of other people's intentions and tend to assume the worst. You expect that the people you love will betray you. Either you avoid relationships altogether, form artificial relationships in which you really do not open up to others, or you form relationships with people who treat you badly and then feel angry and vengeful towards them. Two life traps relate to your ability to function independently in the world. These are dependence and vulnerability. So first of all, dependence. If you are caught in the dependence life trap, you will feel unable to handle everyday life in a competent manner without considerable help from others. You depend on others to act as a crutch and need constant support. As a child, you were made to feel incompetent when you try to assert your independence. As an adult, you seek out strong figures upon whom to become dependent and allow them to rule your life. At work, you shrink from acting on your own. Needless to say, this holds you back. And vulnerability. With vulnerability, you live in fear that disaster is about to strike, whether natural, criminal, medical, or financial. You do not feel safe in the world. If you have this life trap, as a child you were made to feel that the world is a dangerous place. You were probably overprotected by your parents, who worried too much about safety. Your fears are excessive and unrealistic, yet you let them control your life and pour your energy into making sure that you are safe. Your fears may revolve around illness, having an anxiety attack, getting AIDS or going crazy. This may be focused around financial vulnerability, going broke and ending up on the streets. Your vulnerability may revolve around other phobic situations such as fear of flying, being mugged, or earthquakes. Do life traps relate to the strength of your social connection to others? These are emotional deprivation and social exclusion. Emotional deprivation first. Emotional deprivation is the belief that your need for love will never be met adequately by other people. You feel that no one truly cares for you or understands how you feel. You find yourself attracted to cold and unforgiving people, or you are cold and unforgiving yourself, leading you to form relationships that inevitably prove unsatisfying. You feel cheated, and you alternate between being angry about it and feeling hurt and alone. Ironically, your anger just drives people further away, ensuring your continued deprivation. When patients with emotional deprivation come to see us for therapy, there is a loneliness about them that stays with us even after they have left the office. It is a quality of emptiness, of emotional disconnection. These are people who do not know what love is. Next, social exclusion. Social exclusion involves your connection to friends and groups. It has to do with feeling isolated from the rest of the world, with feeling different. If you have this life trap, as a child you felt excluded by peers. You did not belong to a group of friends. Perhaps you had some unusual characteristic that made you feel different in some way. As an adult, you maintain your life trap mainly through avoidance. You avoid socializing in groups and making friends. You may have felt excluded because there was something about you that other children rejected. Hence you felt socially undesirable. As an adult, you may feel that you are ugly, sexually undesirable, low in status, poor in conversational skills, boring or otherwise deficient. You reenact your childhood rejection. You feel and act inferior in social situations. It is not always apparent that someone has a social exclusion life trap. Many people with this life trap are relationships. It sometimes surprises us to realize how anxious and aloof they may feel at parties, in classes, at meetings, or at work. They have a restless quality, a quality of looking for a place to belong. Now, the two life traps that relate to your self-esteem are defectiveness and failure. Defectiveness first. With defectiveness, you feel inwardly flawed and defective. You believe that you would be fundamentally unlovable to anyone who got close enough to really know you. Your defectiveness would be exposed. As a child, you did not feel respected for who you were in your family. Instead, you were criticized for your flaws. You blamed yourself. You felt unworthy of love. As an adult, you are afraid of love. You find it difficult to believe that people close to you value you, so you expect rejection. Next, failure. Failure is the belief that you are inadequate in areas of achievement, such as school, work, and sports. You believe you have failed relative to your peers. As a child, you were made to feel inferior in terms of achievement. You may have had a learning disability, or you may never have learned enough discipline to master important skills such as reading. Other children were always better than you. You were called stupid, untalented, or lazy. As an adult, you maintain your life trap by exaggerating the degree of your failure and by acting in ways that ensure your continued failure. Now, two life traps deal with self-expression, your ability to express what you want and to get your true needs met. These are subjugation and unrelenting standards. Subjugation first. With subjugation, you sacrifice your own needs and desires for the sake of pleasing others or meeting their needs. You allow others to control you. You do this either out of guilt, that you hurt other people by putting yourself first, or fear that you will become punished or abandoned if you disobey. As a child, someone close to you, probably a parent, subjugated you. As an adult, you repeatedly enter relationships with dominant, controlling people and subjugate yourself to them. Or you enter relationships with needy people who are too damaged to give back to you in return. Next, unrelenting standards. If you are in the unrelenting standards life trap, you strive relentlessly to meet extremely high expectations of yourself. You place excessive emphasis on status, money, achievement, beauty, order, or recognition at the expense of happiness, pleasure, health, a sense of accomplishment, and satisfying relationships. You probably apply your rigid standards to other people as well, and are very judgmental. When you were a child, you were expected to be the best. You were taught that everything else was failure. You learned that nothing you did was quite good enough. And entitlement. The final life trap. This is associated with the ability to accept realistic limits in life. People who have this life trap feel special. should be able to do, say, or have whatever they want immediately. They disregard what others consider reasonable, what is actually feasible, the time or patience usually required, and the cost to others. They have difficulty with self-discipline. Many of the people with this life trap were spoiled as children. They were not required to show self-control or to accept the restrictions placed on other children. As adults, they still get very angry when they do not get what they want. Okay, so that's the 11 life traps. So maybe have a little bit of a think. Maybe you want to listen to the video again, watch the video again. Because once you know which life trap is trapping you, it will give you a way forward. You can start to make some changes. Okay. I hope that this was interesting and enjoyable to watch. If it was and you'd like me to make more of this type of video, let me know by giving me an up thumb. And of course maybe consider supporting me and this channel by subscribing if you haven't done